President William Samoei Ruto is using a dry blanket to cover a burning fire and is not going to manage this fire. He's been told by very many experts that he should look into the nitty-gritties of what the Gen Zs are saying. Instead of unleashing people like June Ruto to the military ranks, unleashing Charlie Ruto to organize for some fake kind of conferences and meeting some imaginary 47 presidents of the youth, and he thinks that that method is going to work. It is not going to work. And William Ruto, as I've always said, had a moment, a historic moment to unite this country, a historic moment to make history, to make good his promises that he gave in 2022 during his campaigns. His disciples are unwanted. He's giving them some very hard times. Today, I'm sure that people like Murkomen, Davis Chirchir, Mitikal Inturi, those are not people who can walk very freely in the country without security because they are wanted. The Gen Z have shown that when they are disappointed, they will express their displeasure in certain manners that might not be very palatable to some. You saw them visiting their members of parliament who not only passed the Finance Bill 2024, but were also chest thumping. And now they have been humbled. Some of them are still hiding. They can't go back to their rural homes because they are wanted. The people who they mingled with during the campaigns are now their enemies. Today, one of Ruto's disciples, Moses Kuria, was in a funeral. They went to mourn with Jimmy Wanjigi, who was burying his father, Maina Wanjigi. And Moses Kuria is a government cabinet secretary. He's one of the senior most people whenever he attends an occasion such as a funeral or church. He was in their home turf, not home turf really, but he's coming from Kiambu and he was in Nyeri. Basically, that is still Modo wa Nyumba. That is still Mount Kenya. And Moses Kuri is one person who has always cultivated himself, manifesting a character of a man of the people. He can fit anywhere. Today, he insults Raila. He goes to Kisumu, and the people still, welcome him. And I think he wanted to test the very, very strength politically. So he went there, and he was very humble. He started talking and praising Jimmy Wanjigi. And it reached a moment where he was saying that, today we have forgotten about where we have come from and we are only demanding for roads. So the moment he said, we are demanding, we are asking, one brave Gen Z just told him, we are asking Ruto must go. In a video that has gone viral, something has caught my attention. And I want us to just listen to him again. And as you listen, ask yourself this question. It is Moses Kuria who is there, and the person who is saying Ruto must go is not telling Moses Kuria, you must go. He is telling William Ruto, Ruto must go, and he is telling it to Moses Kuria.
We are talking about
Ruto must go. Ruto must go.
Thank you.
Now Moses Kuria used his wisdom and he had to curtail that speech because he knew he was in very unfamiliar territories. But I want you to ask yourself just one question. One, Moses Kuria is in Mount Kenya, and those people really they don't have a problem with him as a person, but they are communicating their anger. on William Ruto. They are angered about William Ruto, and as a government secretary, he carries that burden. He is there, and I know he was there with his security. He was there with one of those big cars, and these are the things that youths don't want to see. So when people are there, they see Moses Kuria as William Ruto. We are at a point in time when the Gen Zs are saying we need to dissolve the cabinet. We don't need these guys. They are corrupt. We have a badge cabinet. There are so many, and they're not helping us. When they look at people like Linturi, scandals surrounding them, and they're chest thumping. When they look at Murkomen, the airport is leaking, and is saying those are results of the former regime, and there are a lot of accidents on the roads, and there's a lot of corruption about them. People have complained, including members of the Kenya Kwanza team. So these people look at Ruto, and they are looking at Moses Kuria, and they equate him to William Ruto, and they're just tired. People are tired of this government. That is the reality. And I'm telling William Ruto, let him not use a blanket to try and cover a burning bush. The blanket will catch fire altogether, and there will be nothing to put off that fire. He's running away from the reality. And I know there are few people who are still telling him, you're the master of politics. You have managed the Gen Z. Now that you've told them we need to talk, they have told you've unleashed goons on the streets, and they have stopped the demonstrations. Umeweza. I know that is what they're telling him. Like I have always said on this channel, that there is no one to tell the king that you are naked. They keep on telling him, King, you're in your best Sunday attire. We need someone to tell him that it's naked. Ask yourself another question. Do you think in 2022, if anyone brave enough would tell someone that Ruto must go, what would happen? That person would be beaten, some altercation would erupt there, and that person would run for, I don't know, he would be killed even, because William Ruto was a darling of the mountain. Today, you get some brave people in a funeral and they are saying Ruto must go. And of course, I had some people saying, they felt like we are in a funeral and we don't need to bring our politics. But the Gen Zs don't care. They don't want these people in our churches. They don't want them in in funerals, any gathering. And that is why Moses Kuria was told Ruto must go. And you see, the person whose father was being buried there is a crusader of Ruto must go. Jimmy Wanjigi himself is a crusader of Ruto must go. And so the person talking could be an adherent of Jimmy Wanjigi. Jimmy has said this is a corrupt government that has got no moral authority to guide us and to govern us. And Moses Kuria was in a kind of a territory that was not pleasant. Number three, Moses Kuria has always, chided the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi is from Nyeri, Moses is from Kiambu. And maybe the person who was shouting could have a bone to chew with Moses Kuria too. He could be someone who does not want Moses from Kiambu to bring his obstinate character in Nyeri. But basically, you look at him holistically, this is a person who does not want William Samoei Ruto. They're tired of him. The mountain is tired of him. Youths are tired of him. I don't know who will welcome William Samoei Ruto. Because the manner in which he's trying to maneuver a way to resolve this problem is really wanting. Even in the Twitter space, people have complained that it was goofing. And people are saying that we do not want to see Charlene Ruto telling us that I understand you. I understand your pain. I'm a youth like you. Do you really believe that Charlene Ruto understands youth's pain? We cannot be hoodwinked anymore. The father became a member of parliament in 1997. And he has always risen to the ranks, assistant minister, a minister, deputy president, now president. And you still want to tell people that you understand their pain. What kind of pain do you understand? Well, sometimes we really need to be serious. And this is a lesson to William Ruto. Let him not feel or think that the Gen Z are quiet. Like they say, do not mistake a lion that has been rained on, and you think that it is now not harmful. Or don't look at a lion that is sleeping and you think that it is dead. Let Ruto not underestimate the wrath of the Gen Z. When you see them shouting like that, it reminds me of the Gen Z who went to a church and said, Ruto must go, Ruto must go, and then he walked away. They just want to pass a message. They start by passing this message, just like that. And one day, when they are now tired, and push has come to shove, that's when they go to the streets. And I told you one thing, these Gen Zs are very calm when they are massaged, when their demands are met, and when you are honest with them, you tell them, this is what we promised, we have managed this, but we are working on this. They will like you. But they can be very dangerous, destructive, and very explosive when you misuse them, when you think that they are trash, when you think that you can easily manipulate them. They are very dangerous. And I want to urge William Ruto, let people who are around William Ruto, people like Itumbi, not think that they can misuse the youth. They will be quiet for now, but when they erupt again, it will be too late. And if someone thinks that you can always manage a country, or you manage this group by weapons, by the police and the military, by the guns, you know, history has shown us that when people rise up, when there is an uprising, even the military sometimes retreat and say, we can't kill all these people, and we also see what is happening in the country. That was a lesson not only to Moses Kuria, but to William Samoei Ruto himself. He should change his tact.